Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LGBTQ Virtual College Fair, sponsored by the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling and powered by StriveScan. Each school in attendance has taken an active step in building their LGBTQ communities. By participating in this fair, they have acknowledged wanting LGBTQ students in their greater communities. Additionally, they have utilized the Campus Pride Index to showcase an objective rating as to where the policies of each institution falls in terms of LGBTQ friendliness. If a school participating today has the Campus Pride Index score, you can find the score listed next to their name at strivescan.com/LGBTQ. The Pride Index is always a good place to start when you search, but it's not the only thing you should look. A few housekeeping items before we get started. There is a Q&A button located at the bottom of your screen, which you can use to ask questions at any time during the session. Our panelists cannot see or hear you as your microphone and camera are turned off. After 1 week, this presentation's recording will be at the same site where you registered, so you can view it for additional information in case you forget anything. Now, without further ado, I'll turn over to our first college, which is Wilkes University.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Maureen Iskra. I am the admissions counselor with Wilkes University. Thank you for joining me. Let me get this set up here. Okay, perfect. So Wilkes University is a university that is committed to providing a welcoming environment for all members of our community to ensure that all educational employment decisions are based on the individual's abilities and qualifications. And this is something that's very, very important to us. As a university, we are a safe space for all. We are located in northeastern Pennsylvania. We're a private university. We have about 2,500 undergrad. From 31 states and 15 countries. So we are very diverse. An average class size is about 21. I apologize, it's my dog with his toy. We have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio and a mix of professional liberal arts programs across 6 different schools. We have 46 majors, minors, and pre-professional programs, and 100% of students participating will participate in research, clinical rotations, internships, or capstone projects. If you are interested in applying, you can apply at wilkes.edu/apply or the Common App. Does not matter which one you use. We have waived our application fee for fall of 21. If you are interested in a fall of 22 or further, you can use the fee waiver admissions. We do require official high school transcripts for fall of 21, and for the fall of 22, we have decided to be test optional. We do award merit scholarships up to $25,000 per year for up to the 4 years, plus a $2,000 out-of-state award. So, Wilkes University, like I said, is committed to providing a safe place and a safe space for the LGBTQ community. And this is something that we pride ourselves on. This is a training, the safe space training. This sign is given to faculty and staff members who have participated in this training. And then this is on our doors, in our offices, in our classrooms, just to know that it's a safe place for members of the LGBTQ community to speak to anybody and know that they are accepting of all people. The Safe Space mission is to foster an inclusive environment for the LGBTQ students and their allies. They provide educational opportunities, advocacy, and programming for students, faculty, and staff on our campus. And basically, the safe space will help develop and support inclusivity and understanding of gender and sexuality, and to foster a community that is open, safe, and supportive. So this is just something that's very important to our faculty and staff, and many of us are safe space certified, including myself. A little bit about campus life. We have 23 Division III sports, academic advising, and academic support services. And just to back up with sports, you are able to participate in whichever gender you identify as. We do have health services, career services, and an internship department, and over 80 clubs and organizations on campus, ones that are going to be related to your academics, sports and fitness, faith, culture, diversity. There are plethora of them. I do like to just mention ones that are related. We have the Gender and Sexuality Alliance. It's our official student government. It's officially student government supported, and it's a group that receives funding from our student government. We offer workshops, speakers, and other events. So just to point out different
Thank you for that presentation. I know we had some little minor technical difficulties. So if you guys do have questions for Wilkes University, definitely don't hesitate to put those into the Q&A below and we'll make sure we get those answered. Up next, we have Sacred Heart University.
Hi, everybody. Let me just pull up this PowerPoint. Awesome. Oh, there we go. I am very excited to be using this new Google Slides template. Let me tell you, I've waited a long time here to utilize this. By far the most queer slides you'll ever find, trust me on this one. So a little bit about being a part of the LGBTQ community at Sacred Heart. My name is Brianna. I am an admissions counselor at Sacred Heart. I'm also a double alum of Sacred Heart. So as a student myself, having gone through the experience as a queer student myself on this college campus, I'm really proud tonight to talk about the amount of progress that we've made as an institution. And definitely want to go over a little bit about Sacred Heart itself, but more so I'll be focusing on the different types of opportunities that we have for our community here on campus. So SHU was founded in 1963 by the Diocese of Bridgeport. Let's name the elephant in the room. We are a Catholic university, but that does not mean that we don't still have space on this campus for people in the LGBTQ community, and you'll soon see a little bit more about what I mean by that. The first Catholic university in the US founded by the lay people, which is why our mascot is a pioneer. We are the second largest Catholic university. We have an undergraduate enrollment of around 5,600 and a total university enrollment of a little bit over 8,000. So second largest in New England, rather, right behind Boston College. So a little bit about our campus resources and support. We do have a Gender Sexuality Alliance as well on our campus. It is a student-led organization that offers a safe space for the LGBTQ+ community and their allies. Members of this club provide programming and events that promote a diverse and accepting environment, and they work to make Sacred Heart a better, more inclusive space. So some events that we've had in the last semester, one I'm really proud of just happened today at 4 o'clock called As You Are. It's an event offering affirmation and support to the LGBTQ+ students. It was a really awesome opportunity just to kind of gather together, talk about music, art, what inspires you. Also another excuse to eat Sacred Heart University's chocolate chip cookies, which are hands down the best in the world. Maybe I'm biased. We also do have a GSA that runs weekly meetings. Like I said before, they are true to that weekly meeting. They do not skip. I know some clubs do bi-weekly, but we feel here at Sacred Heart, it's really important to have that space at least once a week. We also had a really awesome National Coming Out Day event this past year in October. It was led by Reverend Sarah Smith, who is just my superhero. I'll be diving into her in a few slides, but she is our interfaith chaplain here on campus. So at Sacred Heart, we have something called a colloquium series. It's basically like a TED Talk, but on a smaller scale specific to Sacred Heart. And just this past semester, we were able to have Reverend James Martin on our campus speaking about how the Catholic Church and the LGBTQ community can build a relationship of respect and compassion and sensitivity, something really important here. And another one about LGBTQ couples in the church coming up on April 7th, which I'm excited to attend, which will be a conversation about the Vatican's most recent document regarding the blessing of LGBTQ unions and marriages. And she deserved her own slide, so here she is. Reverend Sarah here is the first openly gay woman in the US to be ordained into the Christian ministry, and she is our chaplain here at Sacred Heart. So it is truly an honor to have her represented here on campus. She's very active in our community, and she typically will wear the scarf, the rainbow flag rather than this one, but this was the one that she wore at her colloquia series titled, "God and I Are Fine, and the Church is Lucky to Have Me." Queen. So our LGBTQ plus resource center, we have one located in Norwalk that we use specifically for primary care. It's actually the only primary care clinic in Southern Connecticut that specializes in LGBTQ plus health and transgender care. So very important that we have that located just right around the corner from our campus. We also have different types of institutional support here. We have a multicultural center that just opened up in 2020, September of 2020. The Multicultural Center was established to really connect and create that sense of community for our underrepresented students. We're very proud of the space, and it's coming along and it's growing, so very proud of that. We also have the Wellness Center here on campus, which is a free confidential resource for all students that attend Sacred Heart. If you're interested in doing individual or group counseling, we offer both for free. And just a statement off of our website, which I felt was really important to share today, that Sacred Heart University is your home and you belong here. Our mission is to prepare students for lives of professional success and personal and spiritual growth. That excludes no one. We are home to all races, ages, sizes, abilities, etc. And so just something to note, I think it's really easy to hear Sacred Heart University, think Catholic, and think I don't have a space or a spot there. But we're really hoping that after this presentation, you see that you do. If you'd like to follow us on social media, again, these are just the best Google slide templates I've ever found. Feel free to scan our barcode. That is the SHU GSA Instagram on the left and the SHU Admissions on the right. I will leave this up for a second before I change. And I know I went through that really fast, but I want to make sure everybody has time to speak about this really, really important and amazing topic. I'm so glad that this is a virtual event tonight. But if you have any questions, just screenshot this slide. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you might have, whether it be about Sacred Heart specifically, about coming out, or about the college process. I'm here for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Up next, we have Wentworth Institute of Technology.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time tonight to learn more about Wentworth Institute of Technology, our community, and some of the programs that we offer. As you can see on the slide here, we're located right in the city of Boston. And Wentworth was originally founded in 1904 as a technical school with the purpose of furnishing education within the mechanical arts. And today, Wentworth has grown into a nationally ranked university that specializes in degree programs such as engineering, computer science, design, management, and the sciences. You can see all 20 of our current majors listed here on this slide. Oops. And our school is divided into 5 colleges: the School of Architecture and Design, the School of Computing and Data Science, the School of Engineering, the School of Management, and the School of Sciences and Humanities. We also offer 21 different minors. So if you're looking at this list of majors and thinking there are other topics you really want to hone in on, adding a minor is an option as well. So why would you choose to come to Wentworth? One of the reasons why you would want to come to Wentworth is that if you're a student that prefers action-oriented learning. At Wentworth, we provide our students with a real, authentic world platform. With our hands-on project-based curriculum and our renowned co-op program, you spend your days putting ideas into action. It's especially important for our tech, science, and design-heavy majors that we give you the spaces and the technology needed for you to have those experiences. And we have 24 state-of-the-art laboratories and maker spaces on campus that our students can take full advantage of the minute they walk on campus. And one of the key differentiators of our action-oriented learning curriculum is our renowned co-op program. So at Wentworth, every student is required to complete 2 full semesters of a co-op. And if you're not familiar with what a co-op is similar to an internship, except it is full-time, and at Wentworth, you're required to be paid in your co-op position. Almost all majors complete these in their junior and senior years, with the exception of architecture students who will do theirs in their sophomore and junior years. And these co-ops can be done anywhere. A lot of our students choose to stay right here in Boston, while some go back to their home states or choose to explore a new state or city to go and work their co-ops. We have a dedicated team of co-op advisors who walk our students through that process and connect them to resources like resume review, on-campus interviews, and co-op fairs. And on this slide, you can see just a small sampling of where our students end up and how their co-op semester set them up to do so well after graduation. And because our students are graduating with almost one whole year of real work experience, our students are finding jobs more easily because of the skill set they've gained when they were on their co-ops. And as a result, 97% of our students accepted a job or were enrolled in graduate degree programs within 6 months of graduation, with a median starting salary for students of $64,000 a year. So here at Wentworth, we recognize that many in the LGBTQ community have the privilege to lead their authentic selves and receive the love and support from those around them. However, we also feel that it's important to recognize that there are some that might not be this lucky. Being out is a privilege that some don't have, and so we have collected a group of LGBTQ faculty and staff who are here and ready for you to support you if you are out, or if you are not willing to or not ready to come out just yet. We have student organizations and student clubs that are based around LGBTQ. One that I'd like to highlight here would be our Queer Peers. Through Queer Peers, our first year students can begin building a supportive network at Wentworth. Queer Peers create mentoring relationships with returning students and hope to build their queer identities as a member of our Wentworth community. It also allows students to meet other queer students while learning about campus resources, attend educational and social events, and get to know faculty and staff. And Wentworth is committed to being a welcoming and inclusive campus community for all students, no matter their gender identity or their gender expression. Students may select to live on campus in gender-inclusive suites or apartments. Single-user restrooms are located throughout campus, including within residence halls. Students may provide Wentworth a preferred name to use in their day-to-day activities on campus. The Center for Student Engagement also has a trans-inclusive policy that allows students to play for teams that match their gender identity. This is actually, this photo is a group of students, faculty and alumni, and actually our our president, who was featured right here in the center at I guess this would be the 2019, I guess because it was canceled last year, the 2019 Gay Pride Parade right in Boston. Which brings me to our next slide. Another highlight of our city, of our campus, is our city, which is a diverse, dynamic, and tech-focused city of Boston. We have around 31 urban acres to our campus, but we also are a campus within the city with a quad and trees and things to do outdoors. Fenway Park is less than a mile away, and the Prudential Center is also right down the street, and we're surrounded by a multitude of museums, including the Museum of Fine Arts right across the street. In terms of application requirements, there are 4 big things that we would need from you. One would be the common application. We also have our own application on our website, a high school transcript, 1 letter of recommendation, and as well as an application fee. And we are test optional. So it can only serve to help you if you send in your test scores. It cannot be used against you. And for engineering and computer science degrees, pre-calculus would be a prerequisite. So thank you so much for taking the time this evening. Feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email if you have any more specific questions. It was a pleasure speaking with all of you tonight.
Thank you for your presentation. Up next, we have Hampshire College.
Hello, everybody. My name is Emily Bilodeau. I use she, her pronouns. I'm just getting my slideshow ready. Wonderful. Like I said, my name is Emily, use she, her pronouns, and I am Assistant Director of Admissions at Hampshire College, which is a small private liberal arts college in Amherst, Massachusetts, in the beautiful hills of Western Mass. I could go on for 6 hours about all of the things that makes Hampshire super special and unique, but I only have 6 minutes. So I'm going to focus on highlighting some of the things that we feel really allow us to stand out from other small liberal arts institutions. And I'm also going to use some time to highlight some of our LGBTQIA+ resources. So some of the things I'll cover tonight are our narrative evaluations, the 5-college consortium, and our divisional system. First, we have narrative evaluations. So at Hampshire, professors use long-form narratives to evaluate students instead of letter or number grades. So instead of getting an A or an 83, you will get anywhere from a paragraph to 2 pages of detailed written response at the end of every course. This eliminates the competitiveness from the classroom. It encourages students to really engage meaningfully with their material. And it gives anybody who's reading your transcript a full picture of what you did in that class and who you are as a student and as a scholar. Up next, the 5-college consortium. There is a network of schools in Western Massachusetts called the 5-college consortium. It is made up of Hampshire College, Smith College, Amherst College, Mount Holyoke College, and University of Massachusetts Amherst. Through this network, students have access to the classes, clubs, and resources on all of these other campuses for no extra fee. I like to think of it as 5 colleges for the price of 1. There are over 6,000 course offerings, including graduate level courses, again, for no extra tuition, 900 plus clubs and club sports teams, 15 million library volumes. Students are able to use their meal plans on the other campuses, and there is a free bus system that allows students to get from one school to the other. They are all within about 15 minutes of each other. And the bus can also take you to the grocery store. So it's a really great and easy way to get around the area. I love the 5-college consortium because it allows students to have the small, close-knit community of a small school and the freedom that our curriculum allows while having access to these resources from this much larger network. Speaking of our curriculum, the divisional system is the curriculum at Hampshire, and it is what allows every single student to design their own program of study with the help of a personalized faculty advising committee. The divisional system is broken up into 3 parts, and it is what gives you your structure at Hampshire. You are designing your own curriculum and choosing your program of study, but the divisional system allows the scaffolding around that. At the end of your 4 years at Hampshire, every student will complete a Division III project, which is a large-scale independent project that is the culmination of all of your passions and all of the things that you have been doing at Hampshire. And it will take a different shape or form for every student, from a more traditional research paper or lab experiment to a art installation, a novel, an app, a business plan, a radio documentary. Again, it'll look different for every student and can take any shape or form. Hopping on over to LGBTQIA+ resources, starting with our campus culture. All bathrooms on campus are gender neutral except for the team locker rooms. All housing is gender inclusive unless specifically designed otherwise. And also, fun fact, the majority of our rooms are singles. You'll only have a roommate if you ask for one. We do have identity-based housing. We have the queer hall in the dorms, and then we have a queer mod and a gender diverse mod. Mod is what we call our on-campus apartments. Introducing and respecting pronouns is the norm at Hampshire, starting from your very first session of orientation, or even earlier if you come to an info session or chat with somebody from admissions. It is super easy to change name and pronouns in the Hampshire directory. This allows trans students to change their name, and it also allows students, if they're comfortable, to have their pronouns on the directory, so it helps students avoid being misgendered in their classes. Just some fun resources and groups. We have the Queer Community Alliance Center, which is a hangout study space on campus that also hosts lots of events and talks and conferences. It's a really cool space for students to just gather together. We have many student groups such as the Queer Community Alliance group and another student group called the Sexperts. Then there are a few more, but those are the first 2 that come to mind. We have the Wellness Center, which is different from the Health and Counseling Service Center that provides mindfulness activities, self-care. There are bathtubs if you want to take a bubble bath. That's really cool. And through both the Wellness Center and the Student Health Center, you have access to safer sex supplies, gender affirming health services, and GARB, which is the gender affirming regalia box. This is I think it's technically a closet now instead of a box. It is a collection of clothes, makeup, accessories that allow students to explore and express gender performance through this donated collection. So a really great free resource for students. It is also worth noting that we are on a gorgeous 800-acre campus neighboring a 2,000-acre state park. So we have lots of room for outdoor programming, and we even have our own campus farm. We are also one of the most sustainable schools in the country. We have solar fields that are capable of reaching 100% of our energy needs. And we also house 2 living buildings on campus, one of which is featured here at the RW Kern Center. I don't have time this evening to dive into our application process. So if you would like to learn more about applying or about our test blind admissions process, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My email is there on the screen. Thank you so much for your time and your attention tonight, and I will pass it on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As a reminder to our participants, if you do have questions, definitely don't hesitate to drop those into the Q&A down below. Up next, we have Northern Arizona University.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to apologize right off the bat for the grinding noise that you hear in the background. My neighbor decided to start remodeling today. My name is Tyler Siegler. I'm an assistant director of admissions here at Northern Arizona University using he, him pronouns. Feel free to screenshot anything that might be coming up. I crammed a lot of information into just 6 slides since there's so much I want to talk about, but certainly want to hit some highlights. First, we are not the traditional part of Arizona. I know when you think of Arizona, you think of a hot desert full of cactus, and that is true for about 90% of the state. We live in the other 10%, the cool part, quite literally, at 7,000 feet at the base of the San Francisco peaks. So you get to experience all 4 seasons. And yes, that does mean winter. In fact, we have a ski hill only about 15 minutes away from campus, the Snowball, Arizona ski hill. Flagstaff has a permanent population of about 75,000 people. We do have an airport, a small airport. Both United and American fly into it, though you would need to land in Phoenix, Dallas, or Denver first in order to connect your connection flight. We have 11 different national parks and monuments within a 3-hour drive. The most famous of one, of course, the Grand Canyon, little more than an hour's drive away, though the closest Sunset Crater and Wapaki National Monuments only a 15 to 20-minute drive away. Flagstaff, Arizona, our home city, was actually the very first city in Arizona to raise the pride flag over City Hall. So we have a long history of inclusion, even within our community and certainly on campus as well. While NAU is the smallest public university in the state of Arizona, we are by no means a small university. We still have just short of 22,000 students on our campus coming from all 50 states, about a little less than 40% of them coming from outside the state of Arizona. We are a little unusual for a residential college in that we do not actually require that you live on campus, though it is strongly recommended, and we do have both mixed gender and gender inclusive housing. We are a Division I school playing in the Big Sky Conference, more than 400 different clubs and organizations, including many of them organized around sexuality, gender, and inclusivity. Our Office of Inclusion, Multicultural, and LGBTQIA Student Services, or IMQ for short, puts on programs quite literally every single day. I don't have time to go over our 100 different majors, but just note that we do indeed have 100 different majors, including our students, about 25% of which come in as what we call exploratory or undecided, undeclared. Every single one of our degree programs, with one exception, music education, is designed to be completed in 4 years. Northern Arizona University is a rolling admissions university, which means a couple of different things. One of them being that we don't really have a deadline other than May 1st of your senior year. Please do not wait until May 1st of your senior year to apply, though some students do every year. Strongly recommend you apply sometime in the fall semester of your senior year. We generally have an admissions decision in hand within about 2 weeks of receiving your completed application. We do not require essays, we do not require test scores, we do not require essays, letters of recommendations, and we are test score optional. That was true well before COVID. In fact, we've been test score optional since 2011. So just note, we do not need your test scores. If you want to send them, you can. They could help you. They will never harm your application. We, during the admissions process then, are looking at what we call your primary academic courses, or the 16 core courses that you see listed on the screen there. If you have all 16 core courses and at least a 3.0 unweighted GPA, you're automatically admitted. If you are missing one or two of those courses, but have below a 3.0 and still above a 2.5, you're still considered for admission. We are considered semi-selective, but still able to admit about 72% of the students who complete their application to the university. Being a public university, we do have a couple of different pricing structures depending on where it is that you call home. If you are a student who lives in one of those, what I realize is a very small map of the US, one of those yellow states or territories, you will automatically receive the Western undergraduate tuition exchange. Every student is eligible, no limitations to it on major GPA test scores, etc. All of the other scholarships that you see there, with the exception of the LGBTQIA Commission Scholarship Fund, you are automatically considered for. So your application to the university really is a two-in-one application. So you can receive anything from a $2,500 scholarship all the way to an $11,000 scholarship. And for our WUI students, that number is on top of your WUI tuition discount. If you want more detailed information on some of our resources, looking to visit campus, or would like to reach out to me for more information, this is probably the best screen for you to screenshot there. So whether you're looking at the clubs and organizations through our IMQ office, our trans healthcare policies that we have on campus, and yes, the insurance you get on campus does include those healthcare rights through your insurance, or you just would like to talk to myself or a current student, please reach out. I will also go ahead and put my contact information in the chat. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate it, and I will pass it off to the next university.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Our final university that I'll be presenting is Johns Hopkins University.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the last person between us and the end of this session, so I will do my best to be as thorough but as brief as possible. My name is Nick Igo. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at Johns Hopkins University, pronouns he, him, his. I am a member of the JHU Out list, and I'm actually one of the original founding members of our LGBTQ office's resource division. So I'm excited to speak both on the institution itself, which I'm sure many of you are curious about, but also the LGBTQ plus resources that our campus espouses and houses. So first, diving right in, Johns Hopkins was founded as the first research institution in the United States. We're an institution of firsts, but this is definitely the one that is the linchpin to our story. We're located in Baltimore, Maryland, right in the middle of the Eastern Seaboard, an hour away from Washington, D.C., where we have several of our own other campuses. Undergraduate students, however, are housed and centered on the Homewood campus, where we have the School of Arts and Sciences and Engineering, where there are 52 majors and 46 minors available to you, ranging from our #1 creative writing program, biomedical engineering, public health, international studies, neuroscience, anthropology, what have you, right? A very flexible and liberal arts curriculum. When you apply to Hopkins, you do not have to indicate a particular major, minor, or academic interest. We are evaluating your application holistically to identify students who really resonate with our open and flexible curriculum, as well as this idea of research. We were founded on the ideals and mission to curate and cultivate new knowledge for the betterment of the world around us. As the first research institution, that really is going to be our kind of driving force moving forward. And so we're very curious to see how future candidates to be members of the Blue Jay family espouse that idea, how they want to get involved in this culture of research. We have, the vast majority of your courses are going to be small seminar-based courses, regardless of the major or academic interest that you have. With a 7-to-1 student faculty ratio, you're really able to connect with some of the best and brightest minds in the world. 98% of our students get involved in pre-professional experiences, with the vast majority of students doing research. Of those students, the vast majority of students doing research will have at least one publication by the time they graduate. And to be able to say that you are doing PhD, postdoctorate level, faculty level research experiences by the time you graduate is one of the most distinctive parts of our academic experience. We truly are a large school in our network. Our undergraduate campus, where you will have that community, is only about 5,300 students. So we are a medium-sized campus, if you will. But the entire Johns Hopkins enterprise is massive and globally spanning. We have campuses in China, Italy, and as I said before, Washington, D.C. And so our students really do have the world at their fingertips, including the largest pot of research funding in the entire United States, which really allows you to have access to some of the best and brightest hands-on experiences you can imagine. Our incredibly diverse student community is integral to our mission, right? You can only curate new knowledge as long as all voices are represented in the room, right? What is new knowledge if only one person or one type of person is creating that knowledge, right? And so it's really important for us as an institution set forth by our president in the roadmap to diversity and inclusion, which is unique to Johns Hopkins and our mission on the whole, to really make sure that all voices in all spaces on campus are heard and are valued and incorporated in all policy decisions, academic decisions, and experiences that happen on our campus. And this is, of course, just as important with our LGBTQ plus community. We really kind of dug into our diversity and inclusion goals back into 2013. And this was when a small group of us met with our new director of LGBTQ life to set forth some goals for the undergraduate and graduate communities on the Homewood campus. And since then, this has really exploded across the entire Johns Hopkins enterprise, as it rightfully should. Of course, we do many different support structures and programs to elevate our community: one-on-one mentorship programs, identity-specific meetups, intersectional discussions facilitated by so many different members of the community, alumni, faculty, parents, students, graduate students, what have you. The out lists, so students really have, I believe the number is now over 300 out faculty and affiliates within the Hopkins community to connect with. Our Safe Zone training program, where we've trained almost 3,000 Hopkins faculty and staff members across the institution to make sure that they're equipped with the knowledge and vocabulary to support students of all backgrounds. And of course, just the sheer amount of advocacy work that can always be funneled into all different issues, right? We're not perfect. We're always continuing to grow. We're always trying to find at the margins where we're making missteps and how we can improve diversity and inclusion and equity work. But this is a real focus of our director of LGBTQ life. All of the events in the world that you can imagine. The key here is that all these are run by our amazing students and interns within the LGBTQ life office. And so this list may change year over year. These are some of the favorites that I remember and the ones that do tend to stick around for periods of time. But of course, an incredibly social, incredibly visible environment is one that's available for students here. You will find amazing allyship and support structures from your peers and friends in this community, because that is something we value in the admissions process as we select and build our community. And the city of Baltimore is an amazing resource for our students, especially our LGBTQ plus students, in its diversity, in its size, in the types of students and narratives that you'll find here. Lastly, to talk about our commitment, we meet 100% of demonstrated need for all admitted students, regardless of race or creed or background. And so regardless of citizenship or anything like that, we meet 100% of demonstrated financial need with no loans. So students are expected to graduate with absolutely debt-free. The average grant that students receive per year is about $50,000 per year for all 4 years. Lots of different ways that you can continue applying, but please continue reaching out, engaging with the different institutions that you're interested in, and looking forward to hearing from you in the future.
Thank you for that presentation. Earlier on, we did have some technical difficulties with Wilkes University, so I'm going to invite them to come back on to finish their presentation.
Thank you. I apologize about that, everybody. And again, also about my dog. It is his birthday today, so he gets a free pass with the squeaking of the toys. So I don't know exactly where I left off, but this is where I'm going to start. And I will put all of this in the chat. Again, I'm Maureen with Wilkes University. We have a ton of on-campus resources. our Office of Diversity Initiatives, our Health and Wellness Services, our counseling services, our safe space. There's also a lot of off-campus local resources, which is very important. The NEPA Rainbow Alliance, Queer NEPA, PA Youth Congress, and the Bradbury Sullivan LGBTQ Community Center. And I will also put those resources in the chat if you'd like to look at them. So we are offering on-campus personalized visits at wilkes.edu/visit. And these are just a few options to get in touch with us on social media, see our YouTube channel, and experience Wilkes page as well, which has our virtual tour along with all of the information you need to know regarding admissions at Wilkes. And this is just an aerial view of campus that I wanted to throw in so you can see what campus looks like. This is my contact information. I will throw it in the chat as well. And I just appreciate everybody and your patience. And I apologize again for the technical difficulties. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, panelists, for giving us a lot more information about your institutions. I'm going to bring back everyone to answer a quick question for you guys, just to give you a little bit more information to the LGBTQ+ opportunities that they offer. So the question we will be answering is, what unique campus event or program is specific to the LGBTQ+ community at your institution? And we'll actually start with Wilkes University. I will turn it over to Sacred Heart University.
Hi there. So the As You Are event that happened just today, actually at 4 o'clock, is an event that we hope to continue annually. I have worked at other institutions. I've never seen anything specifically like this, but we offer just a space for students, faculty, and staff to come together to celebrate queer culture through music, art. We threw a ton of free food out there as well. And so that's something that I thought was a very successful event, and I hope that that continues as an annual event unique to Sacred Heart.
Wentworth Institute of Technology.
So I would say that there are a couple of different events that are pretty important to the LGBTQ community on campus. One is the annual Boston Pride Parade. We have a large participation in that event. And last year, or the last time it was held, our college president actually was in attendance along with several other high members of the administration. So that's always something that Wentworth has a large presence in, is the Boston Pride Parade. We also have a Wentworth Alliance or Gay Straight Alliance breakfast and lunch that we have every single semester, which is just a great opportunity for people to meet and greet one another and basically just share common experiences and meet peers and allies alike.
Hampshire College.
So Hampshire hosts the 5 college queer, gender, and sexuality conference. On campus, we just call it QueerCon, and that's organized by the Hampshire student groups and just some really enthusiastic individual students, but it's very much an all hands on deck. Everybody on campus gets involved, and most of our students end up volunteering to help run the event when it's happening in person.
Northern Arizona.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose from, but I think one of my favorites, just because I like alliteration, is the Cocoa Cookies and Coming Out talk story sessions that we host every week. Judgment-free, substance-free, just come and chat and hang out and have some coffee and cookies, but everyone is either part of or supportive of the LGBT community. And we are excited to bring that back in person this coming fall instead of being virtual.
And Johns Hopkins University.
So the one I would recommend, it's not, or the one I would like to share, it's not our biggest one, it's not, our fanciest one, but it's our Thanksgiving celebration, where, everyone in the LGBTQ community comes together to host an enormous Thanksgiving celebration that really started incredibly small. It was a group of us many years ago who just had a Thanksgiving celebration together before we went home for the Thanksgiving holiday. And now it's an event with hundreds of students sometimes, depending on the size or scale, bringing all their friends, their dorm mates, and their, allies and community members with them. I think, Thanksgiving is a time not just for, your chosen family, but your actual family, and maybe those definitions are one and the same to you. And I think it's a really great time to just have those conversations, celebrate the other parts of ourselves, the dishes that your families host, and come together and really just reflect on what that means. And then Hopkins has an incredibly influential role in setting the Baltimore Pride Parade as well. So we essentially run the ship for the Baltimore Pride Parade.
Wonderful. Thank you all for joining us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback you can give us. And in about a week, this presentation's recording will be at the same site where you registered. Again, thank you all for joining us and have a great evening.